We're bringing you a Garden Grove TV3 special, putting the spotlight on hundreds of our best young local musicians. Creativity, passion, precision, those words only begin to describe what you're about to see. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Arthi Nehru. Though they're usually halftime entertainment, the music and rhythms produced by our local marching bands and color guards will take the spotlight on this show. Every year, countless hours of preparation are put into the annual event known as the Showcase of Bands. If you've never watched it, all 7 high schools within the Garden Grove Unified School District perform. It's not a competition, but as reporter Roma Villavicencio shows us now, the musicians put on their A-level game, making the sights and sounds something you don't want to miss.
With that rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner, Jordan and McGarvin Intermediate kicked off the 2012 Showcase of Bands at Bolsa Grande High School Stadium. It was a night full of music, passion, and talent for all 7 of the high schools in the Garden Grove Unified School District.
It's really exciting seeing everyone because you go out there and you put in so much hard work, and to see people actually acknowledge your hard work it just makes you smile.
And a night for band members to feel proud.
I think today was one of our best runs, honestly. We've been working really hard and I'm really proud of us.
Every day we learn a new set or formation or work, and then at the end of the season to just see all of our hard work and the show we've built together, it's really cool.
Themes like Mi Amore, H2O, and Mission Impossible were a few of the inspirations behind the 2-hour show. Some students say band is more than just a hobby.
People in band are they'll be a second family for sure. They won't judge you and you'll feel like you belong somewhere.
It helps me feel passionate about school. It's something that I care about a lot, and it's something good to do with your time, and it teaches you a lot about life.
And for many of them, it's not only about performing, the music itself brings them joy.
I always thought that music was just this rainbow that just brings more color to our black and white. You know, without it, that's what our world would be like, just black and white.
This is Roma Villavicencio reporting.
That was just a preview. We have 7 bands to introduce, starting with Santiago High School's Marching Cavaliers. The band has 63 performers, led by drum major Christopher Limon. This year's theme, Mission Impossible. Next, we have the Mighty Vaquero Marching Band from Rancho, Alamitos. The footwork and movement by this group is notable. There are 59 performers led by drum major Spencer Bradley, and they had a theme of the elements: earth, water, and fire. You'll need your imagination for the next number, as it takes you to the film world with flashy costumes and music inspired by Oompa Loompa. The Los Amigos Lobo Marching Corps has 43 performers that are led by drum major Vanessa Villalpando. And if you haven't guessed it already, the theme of this performance is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Stay with us. We have more music and dance after the break.
Preparing today reduces the consequences of a disaster tomorrow.
The showcase of bands continues. Up next, we have the marching Matadors from Bolsa Grande High School. The 59 performers you're about to see are led by drum majors Alicia Lopez, Elizabeth Lopez, and Alo Ali'i Pea. They bring us upbeat moves and formations revolving around the theme Mi Amor, meaning my love. Water can take on many forms, just like the next performance you're about to see by the Pacifica High School Marching Band. 65 performers make up this group, led by drum major Katarina Rusinas. Their theme, H2O. The coordination among the next group of performers is astounding. The Marching Aztecs from La Quinta High make up the largest band in the school district. The 122 performers are led by drum majors Chris Wynn and Christian Doe. Their show theme is very much like their performance, One.
Single, individual, undivided, alone, unique, soul, single, united, single, unique, individual, united, one note. individually. Together as one.
Stay tuned, the Argonauts take the stage next, and we'll have the grand finale of the showcase of bands after the break.
Three children die every minute because they don't have access to clean drinking water. Let's do what it takes to save a child.
Last but certainly not least, the Argonaut Red and White Brigade from Garden Grove High School produces fun jazz melodies. The 71 performers you're about to see are led by drum major Douglas Liu. The Argos put on their dancing shoes for this one as they presented their theme, La Jazz Hot. We hope you've enjoyed this special program featuring our local high school bands. I'm Arthi Nehru. Thanks for watching. We leave you now with the Showcase of Bands grand finale. It's a rendition of America the Beautiful performed by all 7 of the bands.